Hi, welcome back to Marty and Avrum, the food guys. We are here with Teresa Greco, who's slowly but surely becoming our very dear friend.
Yes.
Nice to have
Many
you, Teresa.
people's
love
friends.
Yeah, many people's friends. And one of the things that we're talking about right now is how community can enhance your happiness. So let me lead by just saying is right now we're in the midst of a war in Israel, and I have much family there, and I have a number of family members who are actually in the army. My great nieces and nephews. So it's a very, very difficult time for us, and it's a sad time for us, as it is for many people who are suffering. But I'll tell you one thing, the thing that's keeping me in the game is my community. I'm on the phone eons and eons of times throughout the day. We visit people. Tonight I'm doing a dinner in my building, in my condo, for solidarity with Israel, to bring out the people who are, some of who are shut-ins, and they don't have the opportunity to talk. So my point is really is that community actually enhances my happiness. Is that your understanding?
Yes, absolutely. So if we think about, again, happiness is just a facet of love, right? And so if we think, again, how are we loving ourselves? Emotionally, we are nurturing that love and that happiness and joy and then that peace through social interaction. We are social beings, and we are that because energetically we are all one.
No.
We are all one. Do you know that the greater essence of who you are is actually radiating from outside this physical shell? And that energy, Spirit said to me, it's like the rays of the sun. There's energy coming off of everybody, and some people can see the color even of that energy, right? Like whether it's blue and pink, or
Children can.
or the kind of lower energies, right?
Did you understand that? You get that?
Like.
That there's colors outside of you that people can
Right,
see.
aura.
Like an aura.
Yes, an aura, exactly. Yes. And so the larger part of us is actually outside of this physical, but we think we're all separate, right? It's like you're in this body, I'm in this one, but energetically we are all connected. We are connected to everything. So it's not a wonder why we seek that social connection, which is why during the pandemic it was so difficult for people, because the government was like, oh no, you can't hang out with your loved ones. And it was like, what? Like, if we're energetically, we're all one and we're all connected, how do you expect us to be separated and to be happy doing that? So it's huge. Also, one of the longest running studies of over 50 years basically proved that our life and the quality of our life is based on the quality of our relationships.
Right.
But what if you have no relationships? What if there aren't anybody? What if you're alone? How do you?
Some people don't have friends.
But there's a lot of lonely people out there.
There are a lot of lonely people.
Yeah, and something really interesting. Avrum came here about a half an hour ago, and I know you're still sad, but just the conversation with Teresa, there's a little light in your life. I know it's a very hard time for you, going through more than me because your family's in Israel.
Because I'm a real Jew.
But I'm wondering how people, like you say, your art. So does your art make you feel hopeful about life?
So here's an interesting thing. And firstly, thank you for saying that. Yeah. Here's an interesting thing is, and I'm going to ask you to define this. Teresa's actually you're about to go for your PhD in happiness, right?
Yeah.
Who does that, right? It's unbelievable. So here's what happens is I have this overwhelming sense of grief and sadness nowadays, okay? But when I go into my studio, I have set up a studio in my condo, and I sit down, something comes over me, and it takes over, and I go into, like Marty said, a place of more happiness and of satisfaction. What is that?
Yeah, it's you connecting to your spiritual self. That part is brimming with joy, peace, and love. It's brimming, it's overflowing with that. And so in that moment, science calls it being in the flow state, but it's you, as we said like last week, you're in the zone, you're tapped in, and you're feeling it.
Safe.
So it's like if happiness is like electricity going through the walls, right? If we're just imagine our fingers just plugging in to that electrical socket like prongs, right? All of a sudden we feel that surge, as you're talking about, of like energy, which is again, vibrating at different frequency, whatever, and we feel really good, right? If we could always remain plugged in, wouldn't that be amazing to go through every day plugged in into that ever, like in abundance, everlasting, like energy that's always there for us to tap
Are you at
into?
that point yourself, personally? Are you mostly happy throughout the day?
Mostly,
Mostly satisfied?
yeah,
What about yourself?
mostly.
It goes off and on.
Yeah.
It's difficult being a dialysis patient.
Are you not happy when you go into for dialysis?
No,
Are you unhappy?
pretty unhappy, yeah, because,
It's a difficult surrounding, right?
well, it's a difficult surrounding, and a lot of the people are very ill, and, incapable of walking. But no, most of the time I'm pretty happy.
Can I tell you something? Marty is a happy man at his core.
I don't know.
No, Marty.
We all are,
Marty, you're an
Marty, we
extra.
all
Marty
are,
lives.
yes.
Marty lives to dance. He lives to party.
Oh my God,
and
that
his
sounds so
mother.
exciting.
No. So listen to this. Marty takes that happiness everywhere. Okay. Now sometimes he's
thank you.
very
Just start
sad.
crying.
Sometimes he's very sad, but such is life.
Yes.
So when he goes in for dialysis, you know what he does? He gives out candies to everybody. And he's been doing it since he started dialysis,
every
right?
day.
Marty, right? You give out, what is it,
Yeah.
lollipops or something?
Lollipops, Mars bars, anything. The nurses love it, and you know what? It's such a small thing. I think what you said, Teresa. If you can give to other people, it takes away some of the pain.
Does it do that for you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Just even the simple chocolate bar and things like that. I think people need to find a place. When I'd go to the dentist, I used to find a wheat field. And I'd always be in that wheat field. Like,
me about
where's your happy place, Teresa? Where do you go that is an escape for you?
I would say meditation is that place for me because
Right.
you can do it anywhere. It's just a matter of closing your eyes.
Is there an actual place? Is there a building? Is there a
Or an
surrounding?
activity,
An activity where, if you are that little girl and you want to be safe, where are you going to go to be safe?
I feel the most free too.
Yeah.
Outside when I'm just responsible for myself.
Yeah.
In that moment, just totally connected to myself and in nature, I feel that. I feel totally free and I feel really happy and blissful.
Right.
Yeah, just outside, whether I'm walking or sitting in the sunshine or at the beach, wherever it is, but outside I really feel so free. And when I'm by myself too. So that's when you said a lot of people are by themselves. How can they find happiness?
Right. But
The
you're okay
greatest-
with that.
Yes, because the greatest relationship we will have is the one that we have with ourselves. And we really need to analyze that to say, what
Yeah.
kind of relationship do I have with myself? Am I comfortable with myself? Do I love myself the way that I need to? Or are we looking for that validation outside in other people? I was looking for love outside of me, and for some people in all the wrong places too. Not recognizing that I was love already. I just needed to connect with
Love
that.
yourself.
And it's important that we spend time
Yeah.
by ourselves. Not to say that we should always be by
No.
ourselves.
But enjoy that moment.
Yes, we are.
Where do you go, Avrum?
Yeah.
Where's your
Well,
place?
like I said, I go into
Little
my art
studio?
room. I also do a lot of studying. I learn a lot. Learning's a really big deal for me. I write, I speak. Tonight, as I told you, tonight I'm doing a dinner in my
yeah.
building, and I love community work. That's a really big deal for me. I have a very busy life.
That's your toolkit.
No, that's
from
definitely my
every-
toolkit.
Yes,
Very
it's
busy
your
life, and I
toolkit.
just love more than
passport.
anything of giving to people and helping people commiserate if that's necessary, whatever it is. So that's my happy place.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marty, there's a lot more to say about
We
happiness.
do. We're going to have a little bit more and things, and we want to talk to you about it. I think a lot of people have darkness in their life that when they were in their childhood and different times, and they hold on to those moments, and they live those moments again and again and again. How do we get through that? That we're not that little 8-year-old or 10-year-old that abused or forgotten or just not acknowledged. We're going to talk a lot more with Teresa.